Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today we are diving into NorthWestern Energy's latest filing. And let me tell you, it's not just about keeping the lights on. We're going to decode their financial game and see if they're charging up for success or facing a power outage in their plan, so stick around. This report is from around spring of last year, April to be exact. It's a quick update, also known as an 8K filing that companies use to tell investors about important events. Think of it as a financial news flash. The main point of this filing is to let everyone know that NorthWestern Energy is having a chat with some big investors. During the meeting, they're going to give a presentation, so they are making the presentation public. It is being provided as an exhibit to the report. This is to make sure everyone has the same information at the same time, which is something called Regulation FD. It prevents the company from telling some investors something before they tell everyone else. The investor presentation is attached as an exhibit to this filing. This presentation is a slideshow or a visual aid to help give information to investors about the company. Now let's talk about what's really interesting, the numbers and what they mean for the company. While the filing itself doesn't contain detailed financial statements, knowing this presentation exists helps us understand what NorthWestern Energy wants investors to focus on. I found the presentation they refer to online from April of last year. It outlines the company's strategy and financial outlook. The presentation starts by talking about NorthWestern Energy as a growth story in electricity and natural gas. They explain that they are focused on providing safe, reliable and affordable service to their customers. They say they are targeting earnings per share, that is, profit per share of stock, to grow between 4% and 7% per year. The next section talks about what the company is doing to reach these goals. They explain they are upgrading their systems and also buying more power generating resources like power plants, so they can have enough power to sell to customers. Also, NorthWestern Energy talks about its commitment to clean energy. They are planning to add more renewable energy sources like wind and solar to their power generating resources like power plants, so they can have enough power to sell to customers. Also, NorthWestern Energy talks about its commitment to clean energy. They are planning to add more renewable energy sources like wind and solar to their power generating resources. The presentation then dives into the details of their largest state, Montana, and how they plan to use the new energy landscape there. To achieve long-term sustainable growth, they want to make sure they can supply the increased need for energy. The company also touches on its financial health. They state that they have a strong balance sheet, meaning they have the assets and cash they need to manage debt. They are committed to paying dividends to their shareholders and want to maintain a healthy credit rating, which is important because it helps them borrow money at better rates. Finally, the presentation concludes with a summary of their key messages: growing earnings, investing in infrastructure, and focusing on sustainability. It seems like they are trying to show investors that they are a stable, growing company with a plan for the future. So what's the big picture here? NorthWestern Energy seems to be positioning itself as a reliable utility company with a focus on growth and sustainability. They're upgrading their systems, adding renewable energy, and trying to keep both customers and investors happy, but are they really hitting the mark? Here's my take. NorthWestern Energy is walking a tightrope. They need to balance aging infrastructure with the rising demands of clean energy. It's not an easy task, especially when regulators and customers are also watching every move and how much it costs them. The company's future really depends on how well they can manage these challenges. Can they keep costs down while investing in renewables? Can they convince regulators to approve their plans? These are the big questions that will decide whether NorthWestern Energy can truly deliver on its promises. One area where they could potentially stumble is getting approvals for their plans. Building new power plants or upgrading existing ones takes time and money, and there's always a risk that regulators will reject their proposals. That could slow down their growth plans and hurt their financial performance. And while they are talking about a strong balance sheet and committing to paying dividends, it's important to look at the numbers more closely. Are they taking on too much debt to fund their investments? Are they sacrificing long-term growth for short-term payouts? Overall, NorthWestern Energy is in a decent position. They are a well-established utility company with a large customer base, but they need to navigate some serious challenges to achieve their growth goals. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, like and comment.